Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. It's a beautiful 1 FM. It's a beautiful Thursday evening, and we're grateful to the capital God for his mercies upon our life. Today is the 22nd of August, the year 2024. All right, then. So it's time for us to set all other things aside and talk insurance. We're looking for best ways of improving insurance penetration in Nigeria, and this is courtesy of ICO Insurance PLC. It's called Insurance on the Move, and it comes to you this time from 6:30 through 7 p.m. It's nice to have you join us. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, then. So on the program this evening, we'll be revisiting another insurance product of great importance. This time around, we're reflecting on home content insurance. Yes, these are very, very challenging times, and losing any of your property could be very, very damaging, very, very debilitating. So that's why we're trying to focus on that so that you can have a grasp of how it works, and then you can take advantage of this policy. Lots and lots of traffic updates will be served as well. But before then, let's take a detour to have a word from our partners, and when we return, we'll start the conversation in earnest.
Wow! What just happened?
What kind of question?
Wow! That looks like a brand new SUV. What kind of vehicle is that?
What kind of question is that? Can't you see?
Was it the motorcycle that caused it? Or the cooling van?
What kind of question is that? Can't you see?
But why is that man smiling and pressing his phone instead of pressing that careless man's face against the car's floorboard?
And what kind of question is that? Can't you see?
But what kind of man is that?
Kwetu, seriously, what kind of man is that?
Yes, that's the kind of man that has prepared for the unexpected. The man that knows that when accident happens, ICO Auto Insurance Plan keeps you covered, so you don't have to worry. Get the ICO Auto Insurance Plan today. Call us on 0700 I-Contact. That is 0700 2442 668228. Or visit www.icoplc.com to learn more. ICO Insurance, your stable friend. Yesterday, today, and always.
Your stable friend. Yesterday, today, and always.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. All right, then, Insurance on the Move. We set for the conversation. We're quickly taking you through the last report that we've got. Lagos Island, talking about the return trip. We understand that the road construction by men of CCECC at Adeniji underneath the bridge by Ilubiri in Watsura, connecting Osborne, is finally done with. So that is over now. And then we can tell you we have traffic managers on ground trying to deal with the backlog. Yes, there's a backlog emanating from that construction. It's been there all day, but of course, it should be getting better any moment from now. We can tell you we do not have any breakdowns to report within that particular corridor. Now, Ogulunto, let's see, those of you navigating through that corridor, vehicles at Agric inwards Ogulunto affected. That was an impediment that happened earlier on, but I guess that's been evacuated now, so it's much better if you're navigating through that end. Insurance on the Move on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This evening, we are making the return to the good old home content insurance. Yes, I'm sure you must have heard us talk about that on this program before now. Times when we want to discuss properties, when we want to talk about best ways of you insuring your properties, we regularly make reference to this home insurance plan. Now, last week, we discussed extensively the comprehensive auto insurance and the benefits that are attached to that particular policy. And today we'll be sharing some vital information on the home content insurance plan and the benefits that it possesses. But before we proceed on that, let me just let you know that we'd like to do a kind of recap on the comprehensive auto insurance, as well as some other benefits that are attached. We had people calling in, trying to make inquiries, especially on the ongoing promo which ICO has put out there. So we're going to touch on that briefly before we switch gears to reflect on the home content insurance. And joining me right now to shed light on all of this, I have Omotoyosi Tosho Bangba. She's of ICO PLC, and she's making a return this beautiful evening. Omotoyosi, how are you doing? Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Victor. Good evening.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good to be back.
You went on a war, right? Probably you must have traveled around the world.
Not really.
You went
A
to-
few places, right?
All right.
Just a few places, not
And
around.
I hope you are well insured, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let's quickly do a recap for our listeners this evening. When we talk comprehensive auto insurance, the cover that you have, and we talked about this last week, but do a recap for us. Give us an idea and an update on the ongoing auto promo that you guys have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. Good evening, everyone out there. I trust your day went well. Okay, let me start by actually shedding more light on what comprehensive auto insurance means, right?
Right.
It's the widest insurance cover that a vehicle owner can have.
Okay.
There is a statutory cover that has been made compulsory by the Insurance Act, which is the third party. But this comprehensive plan is an extension of this third party, which we call comprehensive auto insurance, which typically covers your liability as a driver or owner of a vehicle. And with regards to the promo, it has been designed as a way of appreciating our customers for their continued support
And patronage.
And patronage. The times are very easy out there, and nothing is too small. Like they say on the street, anything at all. Now we
Yeah, but this one not be at all.
but this one is not at all.
This-
And going by with what we have currently,
Right.
we are giving back in a form of fuel voucher
Okay.
to our customers. Once you have your car comprehensively insured with us in ICO Insurance PLC, and the value of your car is at least 3 million. 3 million and above, you qualify to have a full voucher.
Is there any vehicle that is less than 3 million these days? I do not think so.
No, currently we don't have, but some purchased their vehicles years back,
Right.
so they might still be maintaining that value. But
Right.
as long as your vehicle is 3 million, you qualify to be in that category.
A whopping 50,000 naira voucher. Wow.
Up to 50,000.
Wow.
There are different categories in the promo, right?
Okay.
And there are terms and conditions
That are attached to it.
that are attached to it. But you can get as high as 50,000 naira for a voucher.
Wow. So people should take advantage of that right now.
Oh, yes.
So for you, if you haven't insured your vehicle comprehensively, better go do that now with ICO, and you can benefit from this largesse. 50,000 naira fuel. No be joke at this time. Wow. Now you can see people queuing up at filling stations. If you have a voucher from ICO, it's just for you to just drive in to any of the filling stations, and then you can pick up. Which of the filling stations are we talking about?
Okay, we are in partnership with Total.
Total.
Yes.
All right. Okay, then. So that being said, let's especially on the comprehensive insurance, let's now dwell a bit and proceed to the home insurance plan. Omotoyosi, share with us and share with our listeners this evening, what does home insurance cover? That insurance plan, what does it cover?
Okay, thank you. As the name of the plan says, home content, right? We have what we call the house owner,
Okay.
and we have the householder, right? When you have the house owner, that's just an insurance term for a landlord.
Right.
And the householder is you, the tenant. Now we talk about the principle of insurable interest. When we are talking about insurance, your interest in this contest and the content that belongs to you in the house of someone else.
Okay.
Right? So we are trying to make it very possible for anybody to at least be able to cover themselves against any liability.
So-
no one plans on losing their home or belongings to fire, theft, flood, etc.
Right.
And all that like that. But these are the things that this home content covers.
So if I may just add to, so is it more or less like another version of the householder insurance policy?
Like yes, it's also how would I put it now? It's more like a simpler
version. A modified version.
Yeah, that's a better word. A modified version of that.
Of the householder.
Of the householder.
So here we're talking about the contents that are in that house.
Yes.
Not the building. It's just the contents alone.
Yes.
That includes my table, my chair, my
your
bed,
spoon,
my
your pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what are the scope? What's the scope of cover under this home insurance policy?
Okay, under this policy, we have the fire and peril. We have the burglary covered. We have what we call the alternative hotel accommodation. Let me just quickly chip in something on that.
Okay.
In the case of fire, whoever has that building is displaced.
Definitely.
You need somewhere to lay your head for that night, right? But instead of you picking up your phone and calling friends, hey guy, how far can I pass the night? You understand? We have a plan or a package that takes care of your hotel accommodation for the first 2 nights of that incident. In order for you to be able to gather yourself or pick yourself together, then we have an alternative rent.
Okay.
Up to a limit that is also covered on that. We have the personal accident, we have public liability, we have medical benefits, we have death benefits, a whole lot. It's a robust plan.
So very robust from the way you are talking about it now. So you're going to be shedding light on all of this one by one. So just expatiate on the basic covers and the benefits that are attached to these covers.
Okay, so the basic cover on this home insurance content is the fire, the special peril, and the burglary or theft, which we can also refer to as theft.
So those are the basic ones?
Those are the basic ones, right? But in case of a fire affecting the house, the limit of liability is only for loss of content of the apartment as a result of fire, to a limit of 2 million. Now, it is expected that at the commencement of the policy, a proper estimate of values is done, right? You give us an inventory. That okay, my television is 200,000, my sofa is 500,000, like that. You know, you do a proper estimate so that we will know what we are going on cover for, right? And also for the special peril, it could be these are covers rising from damages from flood, smoke, windstorm, explosion. We've had cases where people's cooking gas explodes while in the course of being made use of, right? And any damage caused by these specified perils, right, are actually covered to a limit of benefit according to the degree of damage. And also, don't forget, I said we have burglary. This covers the loss or damage by house breaking, and it covers up to a limit of 1 million naira.
1 million.
Yes.
All right. So we have the different covers here, the benefits. So one, 2 million, another 1 million, and then we have so many others that are attached to it as well. I'm just thinking aloud right now. If the value of my contents in that house is far more than that, will it still be the limit of this 2 million?
No, it's not. Okay, this policy gives you an avenue for you to take more than 1 unit.
Okay.
All what I have listed earlier is just for 1 unit.
Okay, we'll still talk about that.
Yes.
Right. So now the fire and special cover is well detailed, as you have, elucidated right now. But we'd like you to shed more light on the other additional benefits that you have under this policy.
Okay, like we said earlier, the basic covers are fire, special peril, burglary, and additionally on this plan, we have public liability. We know there are cases where something happened somewhere and it affects somebody else.
Right.
Okay, let's say, for example, probably there's a case of fire and your neighbor is trying to escape. And in the process, your neighbor falls, or probably the fire incident actually extends to probably your neighbor's apartment.
Wow. And destroys the neighbor's content.
And destroys part of your neighbor's content. You have a limit of 100,000 to take care of that damage. We also have rent for alternative accommodation. We know that fine, and this is to the limit of 250,000.
Okay, just hold on 1 second. Okay. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. I think I have a call. Let me say hello there. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Victor.
Yeah, good evening. Who am I speaking with?
I'm Chris.
Oh, Chris, how are you doing?
I'm very good.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ilupeju.
Okay, so I have Omotoyosi here with me, and we're talking about the home content insurance policy. I don't know if it's the insurance you want to talk about, or you want to talk about the traffic.
There's insurance I want to talk about.
Oh, good, good. All right, Chris. Let's hear from you.
I just tuned in, so I heard the topic.
Right.
So I just quickly want to ask, for a rental property,
Yeah.
who is responsible for the home content to cover that kind of insurance? Will the tenant or the landlord?
For a property that is rented.
Yes.
So you want to know if the insurance will cover.
Who is responsible?
I want to know
You want to know who is responsible for the content insurance, right?
Thank you, yes.
Okay, Mr. Chris, good evening. It's the tenant that is responsible, yes, for insuring the content because it's a rented facility, right? And you are the owner of the content, not your landlord. So your interest is on your content. Your landlord does not have any interest on your content aside his own building.
That's right. So you'll be the one that will be
So
paid
you'll be the one
in the
suing
event
each
of
other.
anything that happens.
Yeah.
So if I'm evicted before, if I'm evicted from the house, what happens?
Chris, come on. You're bringing some smart options here. What are you thinking about eviction?
I'll listen on the radio.
Okay then. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So I mean, in the event that he's evicted, like he says, for instance, let's say he's owing the landlord some 10 months, and
Wow.
push has come to shove, and Chris is now evicted, as he says. What happens to the policy?
I think Mr. Chris writes a lot of script for Nollywood.
He's a scriptwriter.
I
Right?
think so. But sincerely, there is something we call transfer of risk in
Okay.
insurance. It's when you are in a particular apartment and you change addresses. The only thing that is changing here is the address. Don't forget that it is the content
That is there.
that we are insuring.
You are the one that owns the content.
It is the content that we are insuring. If your content is still the same value, all you need to do is just put pen to paper to us. Oh, ICO Insurance, I have moved from number 1 Mawamiwale Estate to
Right.
number 2 Konilegbele Avenue.
Okay.
You understand? Just so that then we will effect the change and transfer that risk. to
All right,
us.
then Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Omotoyosi Toshok Bangba is taking us to the classroom this evening as we are digesting home content insurance. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, what is the limit of indemnity that's attached to each of these benefits? You'll be able to explain that to us as well. And then we hear from you 08099120777 and 09153877127. A brief break. We'll be back.
Honestly, I am fed up of my street.
What's wrong now?
I think my street is jinxed. Over the weekend, my apartment was boggled, and the criminals made away with valuables. They even took my son's toy treasure box.
Stable and reliable.
And just this morning, huge fire incident in my neighbor's house, and he lost everything. I mean everything.
Wow. Anyway, like I said before, stable and reliable.
What are you saying? Are you mocking me?
Abba, of course not. I just said
Obtainable, portable, blah blah blah. I can rhyme too. It doesn't help my situation.
Okay, you remember I had similar experience last year, but thankfully I had signed up to a fire and burglary insurance plan with a stable and reliable partner, ICO Insurance.
Oh, now I get it now.
Yeah.
But why did you tell me all this while now?
When the unexpected happens to your home appliances, ICO provides the insurance cover that makes you worry-less. Get the ICO Fire and Burglary Insurance Plan today. Call us on 0700 iContact. That is 0700 2442 668228 or visit www.icoplc.com to learn more. ICO Insurance, your stable friend. Yesterday, today, and always.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Beautiful evening, and of course we're back. Most of the areas we're covering still looking good, but some slowness has been experienced around the construction corridors. If you're making that journey from Ifako heading towards Alakbare, for instance, it's a slow and steady kind of movement. No major worries there. Of course, the expansion joint is being worked on around that particular location. All right, then let's get back to this conversation as we gradually hit the home stretch. So let's talk about the indemnity that's attached. Now, can you just mention the limit of indemnity attached to each of these benefits, Motoyosi?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. We already know that there will always be a limit of indemnity. Indemnity means restoring you back to the position you were before the loss occurred, right?
Right.
So, for a unit of this particular plan, For fire and special peril, which is the scope, you have the benefit of up to 2 million naira for your content only. Your content. And on your burglary, you have a limit of 1 million on that. For the alternative hotel accommodation, you have 20,000. For the alternative rent accommodation, you have 250,000. For public liability, that's 100,000. And also for death benefits. So that means death benefits and public liability is 100,000 each. Then medical expenses for 50,000 is also available.
All right. This looks very, very good. Good to be true. Or true, as the case may be.
True to be good.
Yes. So, but what is the premium for the home content insurance? How much am I going to pay to get all these 2 million, 1 million, and the 250, all that you just mentioned?
I'm actually not supposed to. I'm actually even supposed to inflate prices because it's so cheap. Insurance is cheap, but until people get to know it, that is when. But do you believe that all that we've been talking about goes for just 15,000 naira in a year?
Are you sure? Look at your paper very well. Is it 15,000, or you meant to say 150,000?
15B.
15,000.
Like we say, 15B. 15,000 per annum.
Wow. And I can get, so if fire got the house and my property is destroyed,
you have a limit of 2 million on that.
Wow. For 15,000 naira. Yes. So why are people not coming to pick up this? It looks so cheap.
Jesus is our insurance.
All right. This one says, good evening, Victor. Are there special considerations for high value items like jewelry, electronics in home content insurance? Kemi is sending this one in from Lekki. Women will always think about jewelry, no matter what. Kemi.
My gender.
Okay, all right.
For jewelry, we don't cover jewelry in home content because we believe that there are other ways with which you can keep that. If you have expensive jewelries, you can take them to the bank. You know, there are vaults where you keep those things instead of putting it instead of just keeping it randomly or just lying anyhow. Anybody could play with it and it goes down.
All right, so Kemi, that's for you. I know you love your jewelry, but don't worry. You can take it to the bank, like she says. This one says, good evening. How does home insurance address the issue of inflation and the changing value of household items? Blessing is sending that one in. So, does home content insurance address that?
Okay. Inflation, it means that probably the TV you got for 150,000 2 years ago, by the time you are buying again, it's 350 kind of, right?
Right.
Home content actually caters for the value with which you have insured your property.
Okay.
Right? So, and it's still better than you not getting anything, God forbid, in case of this incident.
So it's the value that you show that will be retained.
Yes.
It's not to say inflation has arrived though, so we're going to jack it up. It doesn't work like that, right?
It doesn't.
All right, this one says, good evening, Traffic Radio. I want to know the potential risks of under-insuring home contents and how can they be avoided? Thanks. Okay, this is Tunde Giwa is sending that one in. So can my items be undervalued? Is it possible?
It be like saying, only me waka come today.
I will like because these questions are coming in left, right, and center.
I'm beginning to scratch my head here. Okay, under insuring in insurance is, should I say, is a fraudulent activity?
Yeah, it's a fraudulent action.
You are actually meant to exercise the principle of utmost good faith, where you declare exactly what you have. So if you under insure, because probably you're trying to shy away or probably get a lesser premium, right? You will also get what you have sown at the point of claim. Let me just put it that way. So if you under insure, remember that I said you're going to give us your inventory list, with which you are going to work with. So whatever it is you have on that list is what we are still going to work with. So if you under insure, well, you're welcome, my brother.
All right, so this person is asking the question which I was just about to ask you. It says, Mrs. Tosho Bangba said, what documentation is typically required when making a claim for home content? Chika is sending that one in, and I'll just take one more because of time constraints. This one says, hi, Victor, could you ask the guest, how does ICO PLC support its... So could you ask your guest, how does ICO PLC support its clients during the claim process for home content insurance? I am Lara, listening from where? I don't get this. This is from where now? Okay, Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you support your clients through the claim process?
Okay, we usually say that when there is a claim, the first thing you should do is to notify us at HICO via email.
Okay.
Right? I'm still going to give that. I'll give out the email address later.
Quickly, maybe you can do that.
Okay,
now.
maybe I can do that now.
Yes.
Yeah. I contact. That is AIICONTACT. iContact at icoplc.com is the email. Once there's an incident, if you are our client and there's an incident at your place, send an email. Just tell us, oh, my name is this. I just want to report an incident. We'll pick it up from there. We have our team of professionals who work on claims all day.
Right.
They'll pick it up. They will send the substantiating documents that you need to process that claims, and we will get it done.
Okay, which is very good. So let's begin to wrap this up right now. What are the documents required to pick up a home content insurance policy?
Okay, I think somebody asked the question earlier on that the document for claims.
Yes.
So let's talk about the document for what's it called now. To pick up that, we need the completed proposal form. We have proposal form. That is where you will tell us everything, describe your building and everything. That's the completed proposal form. Then we have the inventory list. Remember I spoke about it earlier,
right? Where
you list what you have in your house and the value of each item. Then we need a valid means of ID. Then we need your utility bill.
All right, this one says, good evening, Mr. Victor. Please ask your guest, can I increase the value when I'm renewing the policy? Is it possible?
You can increase the value if you are renewing, if you have also added more items
to the house.
So if,
for instance, I didn't have a freezer last year.
Yes, and you have a freezer now. Yes, you can add it. Definitely your sum insured will definitely
that means my premium too will go up a bit. Or it's still 15,000 naira.
Now, okay, let me just quickly chip in this. If you know that the limit in your home is more than 2 million,
so you can buy
take 2 units. Yes.
Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Okay. Thanks so much for coming to the studio so much. Seriously. So it's a full of joy having you around. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so she's of ICO Insurance, and we'll be able to dwell on the home content insurance so that you can have something that you can, refer to, especially when things go bad. We have to go. Akan Hussein has produced the program this evening. Maximum thanks to Definite Media Concept for putting all of this together. Next Thursday, 6:30, the program makes a return. But till then, I am Victor Oteri. Have a splendid evening. Bye.